Alrighty, here we go. Hello everybody, and welcome to the stream. A cat is staring at me ominously from the corner of the room, and I don't like that, because I'm scared she's gonna jump up and break things to get my attention. But anyway, today I am drawing the Grafton monster. It is also known as the Beast of Grafton. It is a large humanoid cryptid that is said to stalk the forests outside the town of Grafton, West Virginia, a former railroad boomtown. It was originally sighted in 1964 by a man named Robert Cockrell, who worked as a reporter for the newspaper. According to this guy, the monster was, quote, huge, had no visible head, and had slick seal-like skin. His account was dismissed by the editors at the paper, but news of the monster soon gained popularity throughout West Virginia, leading to large search parties aimed at finding the creature. Today, the monster is still a popular cryptid in the area, and Grafton is a tourist stop for cryptid enthusiasts. Why did you do that? Hold on a second. What do you want from me? You've got food. Do you want to come sit in my lap? Because you can, but you can't throw my phone on the floor. You naughty cat.
Its interests included, romantic dates taking place in dark tunnels. Its likes include, innocent maidens who are ripe for kidnapping. It dislikes things like Abraham Van Helsing.
Okay. Sorry about that. Thank you for bearing with. The cat is now in my lap, which is apparently what she wanted. Okay, appearance. The monster is claimed to be a large humanoid bipedal creature with no visible head. It is covered in slick, white, seal-like skin. It is unclear if it actually doesn't have a head or if its head is simply located close to its chest. In an article by the Grafton Sentinel that was published in 1964, an anonymous teenager claimed that the creature was, quote, 9 feet tall and about 4 feet wide. And here's the sighting, not from that teen, but from Mr. Robert Cockrell. From June, this one's June 16th, so 2 days later the teen said they saw it. At around 11 p.m., Robert Cockrell, a reporter for the Grafton Sentinel. This song is so much louder. Oh my god, what is this? Turn down.
The monster was 9 feet tall and 4 feet wide, much like Lady Dimitrescu.
Jesus Christ, yes. Hello, King Greed! You're here in time to hear about the first time somebody saw the Grafton monster. And my cat is fidgeting. Stop it. At around 11 p.m., Robert Cockrell, a reporter for the Grafton Sentinel newspaper, was driving along the Tigard River on Route 119, known as Riverside Drive, on his way home from work. There, Cockrell suddenly encountered a large white creature on the right-hand side of the road, which was the side that the Tigard River was located. According to Cockrell's account, the creature was lumbering around the side of the road while a low whistling noise was being emitted from further away in the direction of the river. Cockrell at the time had no explanation for the noise, but later on, UFOologist Gray Barker believed the creature to be extraterrestrial in origin, suggesting that the noise was being emitted from the creature's spaceship. Why do aliens never wear clothing in, all of these accounts? It's got no head, it's walking around like a gorilla, it's naked, and yet this is the thing that's flying the spaceship. It didn't wear any kind of protective gear. Yeah, sure.
There's a fascinating theory as to why that is.
Tell me about that in just a second.
Yeah.
Because I have one of my theory of my own as well.
Surprised by the encounter, Cockrell initially slowed down and was able to see that the creature was very large and appeared to be made entirely of muscle. It also had white seal-like fur and disturbingly did not appear to have a visible head. The creature moved quickly out of view, and upon realizing that the white obstruction was a living creature, he quickly accelerated down the road until he reached his home. Once he got home, Cockrell called 2 of his friends, Jerry Morse and Jim Mouser, which are 2 fantastic names. Cockrell explained his sighting to them and asked them to come with him to the location of the sighting in order to investigate further. They agreed, but when they returned to the site, all they were able to find was trampled grass and a low whistling sound that seemed to follow them around the site. And that is all that it has to say.
So, Mike, you want to proceed with your theory?
What is your theory, Mike?
Well, it's not my theory, but it's
the theory as to why
theory.
extraterrestrials are naked all the time.
Yeah, it actually has to do with why people describe similar looking aliens, and that they typically have the same facial features. They're typically gray in color. It's because this is what happens when your mind combines a multitude of different facial features together. And the theory is that a lot of folks who perceive this are actually assault survivors.
So
there was a study conducted back in the late 80s, early 90s that determined this.
Hi, Jen.
It's like, hello.
You're muted, but hello.
It's like a common through line. Hello.
Mm-hmm. Hello.
Hello.
So that's the prevailing theory. Is it's some kind of manifestation of that kind of trauma.
I have an interesting comment about that, but first, this is my friend Jen. Hello, Jen.
Hello.
She's cool. She works at Marvel, and she's also an artist. Not at Marvel. I mean, she does art things at Marvel, but not like. I mean, you know what I mean.
More organization stuff. Not quite art, but yeah.
Yes. Oh, my cat didn't like me saying that. She ran away. All right, whatever.
Oh no! Did I scare the baby?
No, she's being a fuss butt. I don't know what is up with her, but she has been fussy all night. She woke me up at like 2 and then 3 and then 6. And then finally 11.
Aww.
She's got plenty of food, both wet and dry. I think she's cold, but is also fussy.
Aww.
I don't know. She's being a butt.
Sweet.
I know. Anyway, I'm so sorry. Please continue.
Sweetheart.
I know. She's being a butt. But yes, please continue with what you were saying, Jen.
Oh, I mean, I was just gonna say hi, but not quite. yeah, not quite artist. Be cool, but
she does do really cool illustrations. They're super cute. Like super cute. I tried to mimic them when I made my cat witches.
I still have to do scarecrows for yesterday and today because I'm trying to do that as my drawing challenge and actually stick with it. But
out of curiosity, are those are not able to be retweeted?
You can retweet.
Oh, it won't let me.
I kind of. Oh, it's because I'm one of those accounts that does not.
Oh, okay. So it's a setting. Okay, that's fine. I wanted to make sure that it wasn't something I was doing because I'm like, oh, these are cute. I want to reblog, and it's like, no. I'm like, okay. So no.
Well, that's what happens when you don't use Twitter for a good long while. In my case,
I guess. But yes, to return to what Mike was saying about aliens being manifestation of people who've been abused. What does that say about ones that people say they see that don't look like that conventional blurring of face shapes? Like the Grafton monster doesn't look much like a gray alien. It's a big, hulking, muscly lump with no face.
Well, it's interesting because the story of the Grafton monster being an alien doesn't really coincide with typical alien reportings. It's just like something that's been grafted onto the story later.
Kind of like the Mothman.
Right. Yeah. It's just part of the kind of game of telephone that these myths kind of take on. But in terms of like traditional alien reports, that's the reason why a lot of aliens tend to share similar features. But even the Grafton monster kind of shares some of the features. That kind of seal-like skin that's just kind of gray. Like there's not a particular like quality to it, right? It's just kind of a generic skin.
It's like a wet kind of floppy bleh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think the Grafton monster falls into that traditional category, but I do think that there is a through line in a lot of alien narratives that kind of support that theory.
Yeah, and like you said, it being an alien has been stuck on later, much like with the Mothman, where it's just a person. Somebody later on goes, "It was an alien!" And the person who saw it is like, I don't really know about that, but I mean, I don't have an explanation for it, so I guess it was.
I have my own theory. Okay, so if aliens are living creatures, they gotta be like humans to some capacity, right?
Possibly.
And if you watch a particular show that documents typical human behavior, a show called What the Fuck Is Wrong With You, then you will know this much. There's 2 instances when people get naked in public. When they're drunk, which explains why they crash land on Earth, or when they're on meth, which explains why they crash land on Earth. These aliens that we see here are all just wasted off of their asses.
You know what? That actually makes a weird bit of sense. If they look, if they view if they view primitive Earth, because by comparison to anything that could land here, we would be exceptionally primitive, to the way that anybody on any, I guess, quote, technologically advanced people treat non-technologically advanced people's homes, kind of like a national park full of cool shit that they can mess around with, then maybe they probably would be like, fuck it, let's just land here and have a picnic. Oops, had too much space weed. I'm getting kind of warm. I'm gonna take my suit off and go for a walk. Uh-oh, a native is here, and now I gotta run away into the trees. How embarrassing.
Yeah, like, landing on Earth, it's like crashing into the drive-thru at Wendy's. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my god, are we Space Wendy's?
We're Space Wendy's.
Arby's.
Space RV! Yes! And then we can connect... I'm gonna touch on the fact that you just made a real disappointed sound there, Jen. But now all I can think of is Night Vale with, the thing floating in the sky above the Arby's. Where did the hate for Arby's come from, Jen? What was that?
I mean, my experience with Arby's was my family would go to Arby's and my brother would eat 2 whole sandwiches and I would feel very grossed out by being present because you've seen those.
Because he ate the food at Arby's?
He ate it extremely enthusiastically.
Yeah, and a lot. So
I'm sorry for calling you out. I guess it was just when Wick went, no, we're Space Arby's. You just went, oh, in the background. So I was like, uh-oh, what crime did Arby's commit?
I also think Arby's is kind of gross. So
yeah,
I agree.
I'm sure that they've improved over the years because I'm very sure they have, but from my personal experience, way back when I was a kid,
did not leave a good impression.
I mean, it's fast food.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand. We only went to TGI Fridays one time. We sat there in line forever. Our waiter was really rude, and the food tasted terrible. And I was like, I don't ever want to come back here again, and we didn't. So...
You guys are missing out. You ought to be going to Jersey Mike's.
I have been to Jersey Mike's a couple of times, and I'm pleased that they have mushrooms, because nobody ever does, but I am disappointed by the lack of variety for anything else. Because it's just...
They have mushrooms, but nothing else, according to Alex.
No, I didn't mean they have nothing else. I mean, the rest of it is just, it's lettuce and tomato and, maybe mushrooms. Onions. Yeah, and mushrooms. Maybe peppers if you're in the right place, and that's it.
Else.
That's the only topping you can ask for.
Kinds of cheese.
Probably 16
mushrooms
different kinds
are very good. Wait, like grilled mushrooms?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. There's one opening near us, so I'm just like, ooh, cool.
Yeah, I found that they didn't have a whole lot of variety, which in itself is fine, except that they market themselves kind of like, oh, we're sort of like Subway in that you can come in here and customize a sandwich however you want, except that the section where you can customize things. Hi, Divvy! You're muted. She's gone.
What?
Divvy popped in. I said, hi, Divvy, you're muted, and then she disappeared. Just burnt, gone. But, I don't know. I went in and... Oh, I peeked in since I was out, hee is what she said. She peeked in, heard us talking shit about Jersey Mike's, and left. But, I don't know. It's just the section in which you supposedly customize your sandwich is extremely small. There's like 6 things, and they're like, you want lettuce? Oh.
We got room temperature cheese. We got fridge for cold cheese. We got freezer cold cheese.
Okay, she's muted because it's noisy where she is, she says.
Ah, okay.
Hi, TV.
Hello
She
there,
is here
Divvy.
and can hear us. We can't hear her.
We are currently streaming onto Alex's stream.
Yes. And I was talking crap about Jersey Mike's book. I'm drawing the Grafton monster. That
Well,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was actually going to say, like, well, if a restaurant actually offers like fewer options, that means I would think that they would do those options really well. So quality
Yeah,
over quantity, I would hope.
I mean, I wouldn't call it. It's not like it was bad, but
Okay.
to me, at least, it was kind of on par with the Subway we have locally. I mean, Subways differ from place to place since it's a franchise and sort of a pyramid scheme in and of itself. But, but yeah, actually, something interesting.
Subway,
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, it was a Subway. You want to make a sandwich? Don't want to do it at home? We'll do it for you, but charge you 20 times as much.
Subway, eat fresh, eat so
Subway,
very,
reheat fresh.
very fresh.
That was an aggressive fresh.
That's me mimicking the episode of Welcome to Night Vale, in which their radio show was supposedly being sponsored by Subway, and it seemed
Sorry,
to
but I
imply
think
that if you entered the Subway you could not get out.
Sorry, but I think that's probably one of the best puns I've ever made. Subway, reheat fresh.
Reheat fresh. Amazing. About the Grafton monster, though, something interesting when I was looking it up is that it's got two names. It's called the Grafton Monster and the Grafton Beast. And the game Fallout 76 has both the Grafton Monster as a creature and the Grafton Beast as a creature. The Grafton Monster looks like this, basically. I'll get a picture of it in a second. And I just have to remove -Fallout from my search and I can find it easily. But they've got the Grafton Monster, which looks like... Come here, buddy. Where's your picture? Here you are. Looking like this. With the biggest fingernails. Oof. He's having a good time. He just needs to go to get his nails done. But they've also got the Grafton Beast, which in their case is a giant sloth. Oh, Ferb says, why are we drawing a tree/rock? Hello, Ferb. And we're drawing the Grafton Monster. It's a big, giant, bulky creature with skin like a seal and no head. At least no head that we can identify. But he's buff. Yes, I know. Go away.
It's basically the tank from Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah, but it doesn't have a head. No head, no thoughts. Yes.
Typical day of my life.
No thought, head empty. Grafton.
William Grafton.
But yeah, it's only had 2 sightings from what I understand. A reporter from the newspaper who first saw it, and then a kid who said he saw it 2 days later. Oh, the stream still says Dover Demon. Oh no, I forgot to change it again because I always do. I'll fix it, one moment.
Day 9, the Grafton Monster.
Stream manager. I will fix it.
Right now with the sketch you've done, Alex, it looks like it's got a third hand coming out of its neck.
Maybe it does. Who knows?
It's being controlled by Thing from the Addams Family. Do-do-do-do.
Here we go. Grafton Monster. Day 9.
What does everyone think about the trailers for the new Wednesday show on Netflix?
Have not seen them. I don't know if anybody else here has, but if you have, please feel free to share your opinion. I need this still to go back to my page.
Don't recall watching
Here we go.
the trailer for it.
Fair enough.
This is true. It ain't the sweet Dover boy. You know what? I think I need to get like a big, muscly human man. Need a bodybuilder.
I'll send you a selfie. Alright. Who would I...
references.
Okay.
Oh my goodness!
Alright, who would I
Yes, we'll use this. This reference is going to be. Here we go.
Oh, Lord.
Oh my God! This man is bronzed and possibly covered in the sauce that comes with baked beans. Good God!
This man was covered in barbecue sauce.
Holy shit! We said oil him, not marinate him. Good Lord! Baked beans, man says. Yes. Okay, now I have a big buff man who I can make creepy muscles out of. Alright, Mr. Monster. You can now start to look like an actual muscled creature instead of whatever I was doing. Well, it was still muscly. I do remember how to do muscles even without a reference, but it's better to have one.
So weird looking at some guys with muscles because it's like the body looks unreal, and then you get to the head and it almost looks photoshopped on, but it doesn't.
Yeah, because for some reason, like I said, they've like oiled and tanned him, but you can like see this definite line where his head is, and then these other definite lines where his hands are, so it almost looks like he's wearing a suit. God, the veins are upsetting. This man is too buff. He's too swole.
I gotta...
Hmm?
If you need particularly gross looking ones, I got a good reference here for you, Alex.
Thank you, but no thank. Does the Grafton monster have veins too? Probably. I imagine it does. Although the guy seeing it said he didn't realize it was a living thing at first until it started moving, so maybe it does just look like a rock.
It's like a big boulder.
That's a nice
Maybe it looks like The Rock.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson, but headless.
I'm taking a look because I thought I might try and look at some people that have, like, you know, the weird sort of gigantism thing where like certain muscles grow up. This fella here, I think, might have had implants. Because that's a weird thing that people are doing these days.
Yeah, there are people who get implants for all kinds of weird stuff, like the people who got illegal butt implants for a while, which was people injecting coke into your butt.
Hulk.
Don't do that. Yep. The stuff that you use to seal gaps in tiling. And the person doing it is like, I used to be a doctor. It's not toxic. It's perfectly fine. And I'm like, it doesn't matter if it is or not. That's coke. That's not silicone implants. Yeah, first says, oh yeah, because coke is definitely safe to put in your body, right?
It was safe to go on my walls, safe to go on my body.
I'm sure that maybe they didn't have any adverse effects immediately, but I can't imagine that their body would be happy with them doing that. I imagine it would be quite pissed and maybe, you know, retaliate later. God, this guy is turning into, like the muscle structure that the Saiyans have in DBZ when they roid out. Jesus. But, let's see. I kind of like the way that Fallout gave him big, scraggly, ugly It startled Dazarin. Dazarin popped in and went, boo! Also was not expecting Pex when I first came here. He is the Grafton monster. He's a giant, bulky bulk man, but with no head. He is all muscle. No head. Or maybe a very small, maybe a very small head. Right here.
Then smash.
Head is in chest. Yes. That's why he looks like that
So basically,
one...
like a tank from
His eyes are
his eyes or his neck.
There are so many pictures where that is the case, though, just so you know.
Oh God, someone's been reading Frank Miller.
He looks like, and I've already forgotten his name, even though I looked him up not a half hour ago. He looks like, kind of like a shaved version of that one monster from Looney Tunes. The one that wears the little sneakers all the time. He's big and
Gossamer.
fluffy. Gossamer, thank you.
I don't know why I know that.
He looks like Gossamer. Maybe kind of like Gurren. Yeah, he could be like from Gurren Lagann. Which I believe Jen has watched before. Do you think he might look like a Gurren Lagann?
You mean the mech?
Yeah. No.
What's the name of that really muscly dude that took like in Full Metal Alchemist? There was like this
Armstrong.
one sin or something.
Are
There's him,
you-
and then there was the bad guy one. There was it called Wrath or Envy or something?
Envy is the skinny Twinkie guy who turns into a giant lizard.
Then there was one that was like really muscular that took like
Ar-
Armstrong
Greed?
and the other buff dude to take down. Greed, that's the one.
Greed wasn't... Well, I mean, he was kind of muscular. He was pretty muscular, but he wasn't like this. But he covered himself with armor. Who was the spoiler
Let's see if I can
one?
find him.
Are you referring to Sloth?
It could be Sloth, like from the OVA Sloth. And not the original one where
like
Sloth was in on.
Armstrong and like that woman's husband. Yeah, I think it is Sloth. Yeah, that's who I'm talking about. He's like Sloth if he was on steroids.
It is Sloth. Okay. Isn't in the OVA, isn't Sloth the Fear? And I'm not worried about spoiling this. It's easily a decade at this point.
In Brotherhood, Sloth he is like a big muscular man. In Brotherhood, I'm trying to remember.
I'd be talking about the Fear, yeah. Okay, so it is the Fear. It's Fear Bradley in the OVA, in the OVA, it's their mother, and in the one that's in Brotherhood, it's Fear Bradley.
I'll try and repress that one because I do need to watch that anime someday.
Sorry.
It's okay.
If you said that, I would have kept
there's plenty of
myself
shit
from-
that I need. Don't worry. I probably would have had it spoiled for me at some point in any like. I've been meaning to watch the show for like 7 years now, and like probably along those lines. Like that's probably when I first heard about it.
Well, if it's still on
But,
Netflix, which I
it's on-
think it
it's
is,
doing
maybe we
quite
can
well.
watch it at some point.
Maybe. I do need to try and catch up on stuff. Like I need to try and catch up on Critical Role Campaign 3. That was going to take me a while. I don't even know where.
First says, "Oh God, the fingernail." Yeah, I liked that they gave that to him in the Fallout 76 Grafton monster. They gave him big, hideous nails. So I think that we're gonna do that for this guy. course-
Fingernails for a catch, duck. Fingernails for a catch. Sorry.
What?
It's a weird Family Guy joke.
Oh, okay. I've never heard it before, and you sang it so sincerely that I'm like, is that an actual thing someone did? Yeah, in 2009 he was Wrath, 2003 he was Pride. Okay. Yeah, because in the 2009 one, Pride is the surprise. Pride is a secret. But yeah. It's funny how even though he was a bad guy, that Envy sort of became kind of sympathetic right before, they popped him for good.
I've only seen like little clips, and it's mainly been of Armstrong and the other dude who's like a butcher or whatever. I just really like that scene where they like sort of realize like
Oh, yeah.
Our masculinity is compatible.
Oh, the husband of their teacher, yeah. When they're like, oh, I'm buff, you're buff, friends. Boom. Oh God, for some reason that reminds me of a specific clip that was Chris. I forget who plays Goku, but Chris Sabat, who plays Vegeta, and the actor who played Goku were doing an interview, and I forget what they were mimicking. But they ended up doing a tiny short about like, do you want to come do karate in the garage with me? Yeah. DBZ.
Do you want to do karate with me?
Where is it? I'll find it.
Goku. Let me see if I can find out who he's played by.
Whoa, what
Because
happened?
I never said a few different actors over the years.
Okay, here we go. Did we just become best friends? I found it. It popped it open in a new window for some reason, but here it is.
He's 5'9".
Oh, hold on a minute. Stop talking. Thank you, Vegeta. Sorry, it was playing automatically. No, I wasn't. I'm sorry, I was talking to Vegeta. What were you going to say before I play this clip? What were you going to say before I play the clip?
Oh, I was just gonna look up the actor. That's okay. No worries.
Okay, here's the clip that I thought of for some reason.
On the count of 3, name your favorite dinosaur. Don't even think about it, just name it. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Velociraptor!
What?
Did we just become best friends?
Yep!
Do you want to go do karate in the garage?
Yep!
Sean Schemmel. That's who it is. That's who it be. I love that clip so much. Did we just become best friends? Yeah! You want to go do karate in the garage? Yeah! I love DBZ. Oh, that sound clip is from Step Brothers. Is that a podcast or a show?
I think it's a movie, isn't it? Like with Will Ferrell and.
Oh, they were in there? Oh no, the clip is the thing they're saying is from there. Okay, I see. Sorry, for a minute I thought the two of them were in a movie together, and I was like, what?
I think it's Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly.
I see. Okay. Oh, Ferb says, I unfortunately saw it in theaters. Aw. It's okay, Ferb. We forgive you.
Could have been worse. Could have been Will Ferrell as Sherlock Holmes.
You know, I would probably watch that before I watched any more, before I watched the Benedict Cumberbatch BBC one.
No, you would not.
I feel like it would be more entertaining than the BBC one.
It's considered one of the worst movies ever.
But it would be so bad it's good, that's what I mean. Whereas
What I hear is not even that.
Oh, well, that's too bad then. Because that had the potential to be hilariously bad.
Let's see what.
But the BBC Sherlock Holmes, I'm not interested in watching. I watched like an episode and a half, and I concur with Mike's assertion that it is just mean-spirited and unpleasant.
Which one would that be?
The one with Benedict Cumberbatch.
I was just asking, like, what episode did you watch? The first one?
Yeah, the first couple.
We watched the whole series, or the whole first series.
Yeah, the whole first season.
That's weird, because I would say, like, the first one is the best one, and then the ones afterwards were a little bit, like, where it went off the rails.
They went downhill immediately, don't get me wrong, but it's mean-spirited from moment one. Sherlock is so mean to people. And that's absurd because Sherlock Holmes isn't an asshole. He can be short with people sometimes. But Sherlock Holmes isn't a dick to someone trying to help him. Like the woman.
He's more like.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
was gonna say he's more just like does not understand people. He could insult someone by accident, but not
he
usually
just
deliberately.
gets
This
he
is-
gets easily bored. Is his?
That's not how he is in the books, though.
Yeah.
In the books, he's actually
very polite.
pretty social, like polite and sociable.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't like.
He just gets bored.
Mingle when he doesn't want to, but yeah, he gets restless and bored.
Yeah, and that's why he does cocaine about it, much to Watson's irritation.
I would say that this. I think it's probably a fair assessment to say that the Benedict Cumberbatch Sherlock Holmes has a what's the word? A dose of Sheldon Cooper thrown in there.
In that, for the same reasons I fucking hate that. Yeah. He in that show he is so cruel to the people around him, and just like in oh, I have comments about what you just said to there. I won't spoil it, but that movie is fun. It's really stupid and fun. It's surprisingly gory. But he's the moment where I'm like, all right, this is too much. Is both the I'm a functioning sociopath line, because that's the no, fuck you, no, and the part where the girl who works in the lab is like trying to give him. She likes him, so she's trying to be real nice to him, and he is so rude to her when she's like, "Oh, I rushed the forensics for you, and I got it all done, and I thought that maybe," and he's like, "Shut up," and I'm like, "Wow, okay." We watch.
He's actually like, it's not just that too. He's incredibly like manipulative and abusive to her constantly.
Yes. And then we're supposed to, and then much like in this TV show House, we're supposed to be like, oh, but, deep down he has a heart of gold and he's just too smart. No, fuck you. He's an asshole. Just like House is an asshole.
But people think House has a heart of gold.
Yes. He's supposed to be the hero in that show. That's why he knows all the things and no one else does.
What he is a very accurate depiction of people who live with pain who turn into horrible people who have to take out their pain and anguish on everyone around them.
House might be, but I think BBC Sherlock is a manifestation of the ego of the director.
Well, yeah, Stephen Moffat, in my opinion, when he takes hold of a show, it always goes in the same direction of being I can't think of a pleasant way to put this, so too up its own ass.
Yes. He's like, oh, look how smart I am. And I'm like, uh-huh. But I've watched...
It gets to the point where you... Sorry.
No, it's okay, go ahead.
It gets to the point with things like Doctor Who, especially, where unless you've seen every episode of the show to come before it, since Stephen Moffat took up the reins, you're not going to understand the whole plot going through it.
Oh, I don't want to go. Shut the fuck up and get out of here. I'm sick of you now. You were the fun doctor, so you started whining like a bitch. I don't want to go, says the man who, in his previous incarnation, gently held the hand of the woman who loved him and said, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to be different. It's okay. I don't want to go. The other show is being mean to me and making me not be the director, so I'm going to have the doctor lament that he'll be a bad doctor after this. Fuck off. Sorry. I don't like that season ending. It irritates me, its level of like, oh boo-hoo, to the point where eventually I'm just like, I don't even care about the doctor anymore at that point. I'm like, just move on to the next guy, please. But I've watched the original Sherlock Holmes. Does it have a fancy title, Mike, or is it just Sherlock Holmes, the one that we watched?
Called Sherlock.
Which one?
It's just called Sherlock. Okay, it's the older one that's based. It's very close to the books, with obvious changes for like the fact that it's on TV, but it follows the books very faithfully.
I can't begin to describe just how many you're talking about right now.
I know Mike knows more about its production than I do, in a sense that I am bad at remembering that period. But
who is the actor in here? Are we talking Basil Rathbone, Jeremy Brett?
Do you remember who the actor is, Mike?
Who?
That plays Sherlock in the one we're watching?
Oh,
even though I think he changes.
Oh my god, I am. No, he does not change.
No, he doesn't. Okay.
Okay.
Jeremy Brett.
Jeremy Brett. Okay.
Yeah,
It's not Benedict Cucumber Bun, thank God. But yes, it's him. And in those things, while he can be a little bit smarmy to people, mostly when he's losing his patience, he's very respectful of other people. He gets excited when Watson is puzzling something out. He encourages him. He's just all around he's like a good guy. So, like, and especially the way that they butchered some of the characters in the Benedict Cumberbatch one, especially, the cucumber bun got mad that you're being mean to him, says Ferb. Yes. Clearly. Alright, OBS. Calm yourself with whatever was going on with that. Okay.
Things are making a bit more sense now. Now I can understand the pose a bit more.
Okay, there we go. Jesus.
Alex, I'm going to... I'm just wondering how to do this properly, because it does look a little bit... Right, so... Looking at it right now with the sketch of where the pectorals are, it kind of looks like he's got an ass.
I mean, once I get the hands on, I'll be tweaking those a little bit, but it may just end up looking like that, whether we like it or not. Big old
I'll
booty.
wait until the whole thing's out there, because probably make it look better then.
But to cycle back to something else, the thing that you were watching, Desaren, Black Sheep, that movie is hilarious. It's filmed in New Zealand, I believe. It's very funny. It does have some gore in it, so if gore is like a thing that really bothers you, probably want to avoid it, but it is very funny.
Oh.
It's got
That's
zombie
hilarious.
sheep in it.
I just saw this thing on Instagram that I'm going to send people. And then I'll explain the joke for the audience, because this is... Just the way it's formed is hilarious to me.
Oh, Desaren owns it on DVD. Nice. Oh. Desaren says, the best nickname that I have heard him called was Humperdinck Bandersnatch. That's a good one. Wait, hold on a second. What did you send? Oh, Lego D4. Those are called caltrops.
Yep.
There's so many really good horror movies that I wish I could watch, but their gore level is just so high that it makes me feel nauseous. Like, there's certain kinds of gore I'm fine with, and then other kinds I'm not. Like, I was okay with the gore that was in Color Out of Space. It wasn't super gratuitous, but it was pretty... Like, they didn't shy away from it. What? What you want, crybaby? Oh, yeah?
Oh, baby.
Oh, yeah? Mommy? She's fighting my quilt. That quilt was $300, you know. It's a woven blanket. You best not. Come here.
Cats have no concept of money.
She just knows she likes the texture. She likes to fight it. Come on. I know. Come here. You can make the jump. I believe in you. Come here. You want to sit? Come here. No? Okay, bye.
Oh.
Goodbye, then. I love horror movies that are not afraid to go full cheese. Kitty's like, what's $1? You're right, Desaren. Yeah, she doesn't know. She just knows that there's something she wants and she's trying to convey it to me, but I don't understand it.
We, my family watched an Asylum Films horror movie.
Oh, good. Which one was it?
The Beaver Zombie movie.
Amazing. Was that a Mystery Science one, or just you watched it as is?
No, we were recommended to it by a family friend, and they were like, "You're gonna love this."
Desaren wants to know if it's called Zombievers.
It is called Zombievers.
It is indeed Zombievers, Desaren. Hi.
It is insane. Oh my god, the way it will bend the film's reality to fit the tropes is hilarious.
That's fantastic. Desaren says, hell yeah, I know my cheese. Excellent. So good. There's a fantastically funny and camp zombie movie out there, and I forgot what it's called. It's on my phone. It was on a podcast I was listening to. Phone, where are you? Cat pitched you on the floor again, didn't he? You threw my phone on the floor again, didn't you? Oh my god. Well, I don't know where that is. I'll find it later, I guess. But anyway, there's a fantastic zombie film that's also filmed in New Zealand. It's super camp and super funny, but it's so gory. It is so over the top with the gore. Dead Alive. You are correct. Desaren wins again. Yes, it is Dead Alive. That one. I want to watch it, but I know that the very realistic gross ick will make me go like, nope. I'm gonna throw up. Excuse me.
What?
Blood is fine. Pus, nope. Ugh. It has a Guinness World Record for the most fake blood in one scene. That's right. They used what was it? Like over 3,000 gallons of fake blood in that movie. I don't know about the scene specifically, but I'm sorry, David. What were you trying to say?
Well, I'm just scrolling through Twitter a little bit, and I see something that I'm very surprised to see. Master Chief on stage with Megan the Stallion.
Is he twerking?
That's
I don't
badass,
know.
actually.
Yeah.
Like Master Chief with Megan the Stallion? Dude, Master Chief would definitely listen to Megan the Stallion.
He fucking would.
Yeah, this is happening. I think this might have happened today. The 2022 TwitchCon party in San Diego.
Desaren says this movie is fantastic. It involves lots and lots of zombies and the main pro tag with a lawnmower strapped to his chest. It also, the zombies are really kind of strange in this one, in that even though they're sort of not the people that they used to be before they became zombies, they still have like interests and stuff. Where like they're also really horny for some reason. They have sex all the time. But one of the zombies is his abusive mom, and she's like patient zero. And it gets real weird. It gets real weird. It has
This
a
has gone to be
scene.
better than therapy.
Well, I mean, if you like pudding, don't watch the movie, because there's a scene with pudding.
Is this like a 2 girls 1 cup situation?
No, it's a I didn't realize that what I was eating wasn't pudding kind of thing. Or at least
Ew.
it's not pudding anymore.
Yeah.
The zombie falls apart and the intestines attack the guy like a snake. Yeah, it's kind of Evil Dead in that regard, but like definitely way more graphic.
I need more zombie movies with that kind of inventiveness, please.
I mean, if you want to watch the movie Dead Alive, it gets very creative. I'm warning you, it is extremely realistic with its gore. It's all practical effects. And it's all
Like, that's the
people
kind of
who know how to do and love that sort of thing. So if you're okay with it, go forth. Watch. You will love it. It's camp as shit.
It's the kind of stuff I'd like to put in, what's it called? D&D, like, intestine tentacles that zombies can attack you with. That's mental as fuck.
There's an SCP, and you can look up readings of it, but it's called a Crooked Man. I forget what number it is, but if you look up SCP, the Crooked Man, there's all kinds of creative stuff like that in there. Like when you get infected by, I'm gonna just call it being infected because it like gets in you somehow. By whatever the Crooked Man is, it makes your limbs break. And then they heal immediately at the place they're broken. And the limbs take on a life of their own. Like one of the people in the report, this special ops woman gets chased through the forest by a foot and the leg it's attached to that's basically snapped itself into so many pieces it's like a snake now. And it's chasing her through the trees. It's really cool. But creepy.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Okay, that one would make the zombies. Okay, I need to write all this down.
You also may like the SCP, which is one of my favorites. It's called The Flesh That Hates. Most recordings I've seen of it are an hour long because of how extensive this thing is. Super good.
What did you say it was called?
It's called The Flesh That Hates. And the other one is called The Crooked Man. They're two really good SCPs, and I very much recommend them. If you want somebody to listen to, I recommend the Volgan. He's really good. He does all the voices himself. And you'll never know that he's Scottish. He does a very good American accent.
Oh, that's funny.
He's good. There we go. How's that look? Does it still look like a butt?
Yeah, let's take a look. Let's see.
I'm giving way more time than normal to
Come
this
on
one.
here.
I don't know why. It's such a simple design.
Oh, it's a
but,
very
like-
detailed one.
Yeah, Dead Alive is created by
yeah.
Peter Jackson. It's one of his first films, I think.
That looks really good, Alex.
Thank you.
I'm
So it
sorry
doesn't
I said
look
it
like a
looked
butt? Fine. It's okay to bring that up. Be like, is it supposed to look like he got a booty on him? Because then I'd be like, oh, not really, no. It's not supposed to look like he's got a big booty on his chest, but maybe he does. I mean, sometimes people call it a front butt.
So, I have something funny that I'd like to mention on stream.
Hmm.
Well, unless you are uncomfortable with it.
Well, I mean, what's it about?
It's a little something. Well, it's a little something funny to do with Overwatch and pornography.
Oh, we'll go for it. It's fine. As long as you're not going to be graphic.
Okay.
It's cool.
No, not at all. What's the name? Was it Jeff Seitzer? Who's the head of Overwatch?
Mike might know that. I don't. Mike, who's in charge of Overwatch?
Jeff something?
Jeff Kaplan.
Jeff Cap.
Yep.
I mean, he's not in charge anymore.
Or he was.
He quit Blizzard.
Yeah, because of all the
he quit
shit.
Blizzard. Yeah, he apparently, according to the inside stuff,
Yeah.
he was tired of trying to protect the Overwatch team from the rest of Blizzard's culture.
Mm-hmm.
And
Got
this
to
was
too
all
much.
coming from from the game's producer, who I guess was friends with him or something.
Yeah.
But she said something along the lines of like he was just getting really, really tired of trying to protect his team, so he just quit. He was tired of it.
I don't blame him. I mean, even though he's doing his best to protect his team and he doesn't know what'll happen after he goes, because I know that broke him up, because she mentioned that he was like beside himself when he quit, but he had to for his own health. It's just you can only
Well, I
take
mean,
it for
Overwatch
so
was
long.
his baby. Like,
I
that
know.
was the game he wanted to make.
I know. It sucks. Oh, Dezarin also says, there is some gore, but a stupid fun 90s slasher flick that I love is called Dr. Giggles. It's about a genius killer out for revenge on a town who uses a doctor theme throughout the entire movie and has lots of great one-liners.
I wanted to mention about Overwatch.
Yes.
There was a news article a little while ago saying Overwatch 2 will encrypt its 3D characters in an effort to prevent porn.
I saw that, and when Mike showed it to me, I laughed and went, good luck. Because
Didn't they do the same thing for Overwatch 1?
Probably.
Yeah.
But I
It
have...
didn't stop anybody.
Yeah, I have news for them. People have already ripped the models. So,
I was about to say it's been
It's
4
already
days since they've been
happened.
ripped already.
yeah, they've already been ripped. Bye. R.I.P. I don't care if people do that, because they're going to anyway, as long as it's not a character that's underage. Or looks like they are.
Mm-hmm.
Diva.
Yeah.
I know she's not a child.
To me, but
Look, I know that she's not underage, but she's also the one that keeps getting the Lolita outfits.
Mhm.
So, they know that she looks a lot younger than she is.
Mhm.
They're not stupid, and that's the part that makes me go, ugh.
Mhm. Well, anyway.
But anyway.
Yeah, they're ripping they're ripping the models already.
Yep.
So
That didn't work.
Big L. spent more time. Maybe they should have spent more time working on their servers.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing, too. Again, nothing illegal is happening with these models. What do they care? It's nothing...
I mean, it is technically illegal because they're literally stealing their work.
I know. But on the other hand, though, it's just free advertising for your game. And frankly, the designs that they've done for characters...
advertising that they want, though?
Yeah, but they've gone out of their way to make all of their characters sexy, okay?
They didn't make porn, though.
My point is that they know that the main draw for most people to even touch the game is, ooh, hot character.
My point is they want control over the marketing, and just leaving it up to fans is outside of their control.
Yes, I know. I just think that you can't stop fan content, so you may as well, just kind of embrace the fact that it exists.
I just got done talking about how futile of an effort it was.
I know.
I'm just saying that's their position.
I know. I know. Like, I mean, if anything I created ever got big enough to have that sort of thing, I mean, again, I wouldn't really care as long as it wasn't using any underage characters or using it to promote something despicable. But making fan art and fan content and adult content of fan things is kind of inevitable, and I'd just be like, well, I guess this means people like it then. I'll just avoid searching that term for a while. Lest we forget the Disney Vault is full of porn.
Right.
Made by its own creators, even. I may end up making it chibi off screen at this rate. Goodness, I don't know why, but this one is just like more than just a sketch. Well, more than a loose sketch. It's like a nice polished sketch. For some reason.
For some reason, Alex is taking a lot of time drawing the muscular man.
Yeah, I wonder. What could be the cause of that? I wonder.
I mean, it's not a mystery that drawing muscles is fun. I do that all the time, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you guys are judging me.
We're not judging you.
You better not be.
That's already happened.
I know where you live. Saying, I bought tickets to your house. Don't say anything you may regret in November.
I'm just saying. If Overwatch ever needs a male equivalent of all of all the female artists they have over there, you're prime candidate with work like that.
Well, then you just look over at Genshin Impact that already decided that everyone was going to be equal opportunity adorable. There are no unattractive gacha characters in that game. Everyone is sexy, except for the children.
Okay, I think we can infer. I think you've made it abundantly clear. Yes, there is no unattractive character in Genshin Impact.
Yes. Desarin says, I'm going to be honest, I don't understand the mindset of trying a game because of hot characters. Like, yeah, fan service is a thing, but you better have actual fun game too, or it'll just be tossed aside. I agree, but then at the same time, I also know plenty of games in which the gameplay is pretty meh, but people still play it because the characters are hot. There's a lot of mobile games that are like that.
It's when people have incredibly high libidos.
But at the same time, that's basically kind of Overwatch. I mean sexiness is part of the factor, but a lot of the reason people play these games is because it's got they like the character. Like,
yeah,
Overwatch
they like the characters and they like the gacha part.
The game is literally 50% of the game is literally designed to not be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's changed with Overwatch 2.
I hope so.
And I actually think that they've made the character part worse in Overwatch 2 because of the monetization. So it's
Yeah.
interesting that you say that, because I would argue that Overwatch 2 is flipping it, where the character part is very uninteresting, but the gameplay has improved.
Like that horrible legendary skin you showed me yesterday.
Yeah, well, the weird thing is the legendary. It's just the legendary skins for the Junker Queen. All the other characters have great skins.
Yeah, her
It's
legendary
just-
skin looks like crap.
It's just her legendary skins that look like Garbo.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it.
And people were like, well, what is it? It was something like, how many hours of gameplay was it? It was like 30 hours of gameplay grinding, and
Well, to unlock all legendary skins, it would take 5 years of.
yeah, I was trying. It was just the article that you showed me that was like, wow, it's $23 for the skin, or like 30 hours of grinding for this.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah,
damn,
yeah,
I mean, the
it's-
Diluc skin in Genshin was more expensive than that, but at least it looked cool and gave me new animations. Like, if it just looked like that, I'd have been like, nope.
Oh, something else. There's a funny clip, you can search for it. But basically, XQC was he had basically saved up like thousands of loot boxes in Overwatch 1 because he was planning to open them in Overwatch 2.
But they don't transfer over, do they?
Well, no, they do transfer over, but the only problem is they all open automatically.
Oh, you can't. So he turned the game on and it went, hi.
Yep.
Boom.
So he
Oh,
was
that's
pretty mad about
awful. That's terrible.
It's funny though.
That's like if in a gacha game, that would be like if in Genshin, Mikey, all of the wishes you save up and you're like, okay, so when this character rolls around, I like their design, their gameplay seems cool, I'll roll for them. If the game was like, no, you won't, you earned 10 wishes, I'm rolling for you right now.
You know, I wonder if like monetization for games is going to change. And the reason I wonder this is because Twitch has recently banned gambling.
Yeah, it has.
And I wonder if some of these systems, like gacha systems, for example, will be looked at more closely. The reason I say is because, I mean, it's basically gambling.
Yeah, it is. I'm not going to lie.
I just had a. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I mean, I understand that not everybody is like myself when it comes to that sort of thing, where, I mean, there are characters I'm interested in getting in Genshin, as my example, since that's the game I play with gacha in it, but I find it more fun, for me, it's the randomness aspect. I find it fun of like, oh, I wonder what I'm going to get today. Ooh, I got this, that's neat. Puts it in my pocket. Cool. But for other people, it's like, I have to keep going until I get the character that I wanted. And I get that that's a big problem, so I'm not gonna poo-poo anybody who says you gotta...
They flood the game with garbage characters.
That's why I take a special pride in leveling all of them up and making them not garbage. They're like, oh... Like all the people... Like, remember we were like, I don't understand how anybody can be like, Barbara's garbage. Barbara is god tier. She will bring you back to life.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's because it's more so like there's a lot of trash characters that are just worse versions of the legendary character in terms of gameplay. Like, you're looking at it purely from a like an aesthetic point of view. Like, you like a character, you want the character. Most people are looking at it from a mechanical point of view. And the reality of it is that from a mechanics point of view, yeah, if you want the best performing character, chances are you're going to have to spend money. Especially if you want to max it out, right?
Yeah, if you want to get all the constellations right away.
It's easy to forget because the game is largely a single player or PvE experience, but the game is like mechanically things are locked behind the loot box system.
Yeah, that's true.
Or I guess in this case the gacha system.
Yeah, Dezarin says said I'm glad I don't play
Just a mutated Geodude.
I mean, you know. You know.
It's just a golem.
Yeah.
It's the Pepsi Man.
It's a Machamp or a Machoke without a head. But Dizern says, I'm glad I don't play mobile games, and here I thought people played Overwatch because shooters with powers were cool. I mean, I just don't get it. Then again, maybe I can't say much. I may not buy a game because of characters, but my favorite companies can get me to buy a collector's edition if there are physical items that come with it. Maybe I can't compare people drooling over a character and being a pack rat for cool stuff, though. I mean, the idea of some kind of incentive you like, encouraging you to get a game, is... I mean, it is a thing that kind of happens to almost every game. And personally, I've looked at some pre-orders before, some that end up being way too expensive, so I don't bother. But there's something I think that's really really cool about getting a physical item with a game. That's especially something from in-world, like when Halo's pre-order came with dog tags. Or Fallout came with a Pip Boy that you could strap on your wrist and a bobblehead. But then, of course, it ended up becoming like later on. It's like, oh, you can get what was it? Wasn't it Andromeda that came with a version of whatever the Mako was in that game? I forgot. Like a little remote control version of that, and the whole pre-order was $300.
There was one that came with like a Pathfinder helmet, I think. I don't remember.
There was something that came with a car. They're like, here's a model of the car. And it's $300. And I was like, nope.
I mean, to be fair,
sorry about this.
Well, and the worst part for the Mass Effect Andromeda special editions was that you didn't actually get the game.
Yeah! The special edition didn't have a game, it was just stuff.
It was just, you were just buying the stuff.
Yes, that was the part that blew my mind. I'm like, well, it comes with the game, right? And you're like, no, it doesn't. I'm like, what? It doesn't come with the game. What? I know that people were all peevy about Fallout, because Fallout 76 came with a helmet, and it was supposed to come with like a camper bag, a little shoulder bag. Canvas bag.
It was supposed to be a canvas bag, and it was a nylon bag.
Yeah, it was a nylon.
About it.
On the one hand, I understand, because a nylon bag, if it's cheaply and shittily made, is going to fall apart and not protect that helmet in the slightest.
I mean, why would you be leaving it in the bag? The point is to display it.
Yes, but the point is also that now the bag is useless, because a nylon bag, as anybody who's gotten a shopping nylon bag, is not helpful.
I bet that the average person who is whining about the canvas bag
had never
was
had
going
any
to throw
intention
it
to
out
use it.
regardless. Yes, it was just part. Look, I understand why people were upset about the launch of Fallout 76. I get it, but I think there comes a point where some people cross the line and they think that because they don't like the game, everything about it has to be bad, as opposed to just disliking the parts that you don't like about it. Everything has to be wrong with it. Like if the game launched in an immaculate state, if the game was bug free, it was fun at launch, no one would have fucking cared about the fucking canvas bag.
What is this pose I am putting on the Grafton monster? It's just running, waving its hands in the air.
Oh, it's gonna eat you.
Now I have to make the limbs tinier. I have to make the legs little.
The only thing that would have made,
because big torse,
that the legendary edition for that game be worse is if the helmet itself wasn't like electronic.
Oh,
right?
like if it was just like a cheap plastic thing that didn't even light up, instead of like being
the helmet
a molded
has like
one.
a filter on it, and it has
you
light.
can actually wear it, can't you?
Yeah, like that's like you get that, and you're crying about the bag.
Oh my god! Does Zarin just italic looks over at the multiple backpacks and bags I've gotten with various games and treated with a special care? Throw it out.
Oh no! Oh no! I'm with you on this. Okay, as a sound designer who has gone out and done field and production recording, I am a bag geek. I love a good bag.
I have many bags you can borrow.
We're talking about the average gamer here, right?
Who was just mad that it wasn't what it matched and not whether or not it's practical.
The trash can is the extra large Sprite that they got from McDonald's, right? Like, these types of folks.
Okay, so you're saying that the
capital G gamers.
Yeah, so you're saying that you feel, given the backlash, that the people who were most angry about the bag not being what it was originally shown to be were people who had never really intended to use the bag in the first place?
Yes.
And were just mad that the bag was not the canvas bag?
Yes.
That's fair. I could see that being true.
If you want just look, if you just want a canvas bag, buy the canvas bag. Like,
yeah,
you could probably get it for just a few bucks, especially since the size of the bag wasn't that big.
Yeah,
it's just weird. It's just such a weird thing to focus on. There were so many other issues with the game, and people are like, "I'm going to sue Bethesda for false advertising because the in the ad they show a canvas bag."
Yeah. First thing. By the way, Dezarin, I that sounds really cute. Dezarin says, "I adore my explorer's bag that looks like a little D&D hip pouch bag."
Yeah.
That sounds cute. I have a question for David in a second because of what he just said in chat. But I could see somebody getting irritated, even if they had never really intended specifically to use the bag. If they were like, okay, well, you know, a canvas bag is expensive. Did I pay for a canvas bag and not get it? Am I not getting a refund of the cost here? Or am I just still gonna have to pay for a bag I didn't actually get? I could understand being peeved about that, but I feel like that would have been an entirely different conversation than the one that we got. Now, my question for David. David just typed, looks over at empty 2-liter bottle of Coke filled with broken 360 controllers. How did you fit 360 controllers in the bottle of Coke?
I presume you would have removed the top, right?
I presume he would have too, but I have a question. I also know how big a 2-liter bottle of soda is, and I'm sure you could only fit maybe 2 or 3 controllers in there. So how many broken Xbox controllers have you put in there? You have to tell us.
Sort of like the remaining pieces.
Oh, you broke it into pieces. Oh, well.
Look,
why?
man. Look. Well, it was a gamer rage moment. I was playing Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley.
I'm sure that you're kidding, but I also want to know if any part of this is steeped in truth.
Look, okay, I may have gotten an actual living Junimo from the Stardew Valley Legendary Edition, but it came in a plastic bag and not a paper bag, so therefore worthless.
Yeah, it came in a little plastic bag instead of the paper bag that had the JoJo Mart logo printed on it like it showed in the ad, and I am pissed.
Yeah.
Oh. Would you like me to share the photo that you're sending to Zarin or no? I'll wait until she says, because I'm sure that she's like actually taking the photo. Oh, you can? Okay.
You may.
You may.
Yes, only piece of truth about it. That's the plastic bottles on my desk.
Ooh, I like that bag. I also misread what was written on it as natural deodorant, and I was like,
Going back to the horror stuff.
It says natural doctrine.
Really, really quick. Ooh.
Hold on a second.
Going back to the horror stuff.
Here we go.
Really, just for a split second.
This is the bag. I like this bag. I want this bag.
Ooh!
Isn't that a good bag?
Yeah, that is
This is a good bag. I like this bag. It reminds me of the Cthulhu one that I like had my eye on for forever. That was a it was printed on surplus military bags that they got cheap because they were surplus, and I was like, oh man, I want it.
Yeah.
I can't afford it. I have nowhere for it to go, and I also have many bags. No.
Yeah.
Anyway, the game itself is called Natural Doctrine. Oh, that's why it says that. I see. Anyway, please continue, Mikey.
Yeah, the one horror related thing I'm actually looking forward to this year is Darktide. I need this game.
Yes.
I need it to come out. I need to play it. I've been waiting forever.
Isn't that coming out pretty soon?
It was going to be coming out this month, but they postponed it again.
Oh no.
They delayed it again to the 30th of November.
Oh. Well, I hope that that's not a bad sign. I'm going to be hopeful and
I
say it's
have
not.
faith because they have a pretty damn good reputation, and everything that they've shown of the game so far, including prolonged unedited gameplay, it all looks great. I think it's just like technical things that they're trying to finish, because they're doing things that they've never done before.
Is it an unofficial sequel to Cold Fear? I don't know.
No, it's a sci-fi. It's you know Warhammer 40K.
Yeah, it's that one.
It's that. It's basically Vermintide, which is the game that they made for the fantasy version of Warhammer. It's basically Warhammer 40K's version of Vermintide. It's like a procedurally, like you have a yes, except no, we're not playing Space Marines. This is the first. This is actually
we're not.
This is the first Warhammer 40K video game that I've ever played that didn't have a playable Space Marine in it.
Yep. We are the dregs of society. We're the people who the Space Marines would sneer at and go, ugh.
We're playing. You can play as an Imperial Guardsman, an Inquisitorious person, like an Inquisitor. Well, actually, no, technically not an Inquisitor. They're like a Zealot, basically.
Yeah.
They're like a
I think
religious
that's
zealot.
what she's called. She's called the Zealot.
No, you're working for the Inquisitorious. They're bringing you out of prison to do a job for them.
They're all human except for one. But then, the Ogren. Even though an Ogren is a human, it's just a human that's all mutated and screwed up because the future is horrible.
They're humans, but
they sure don't look it anymore.
Humanity in Warhammer 40K encompasses also beast races because
in
the 40K universe, beast races are mutated humans.
Yeah, no Eldar or Dark Eldar, no. Though
actually, I don't even think we'll be fighting Eldar or Dark Elder.
No, I think the closest that we're getting is that some of our enemies, I don't know if they're non-human, but they're like whatever the undead faction is.
There are two undead factions. You have the Forces of Chaos, which have the ability to raise the dead, and then you also have the Necrons.
I think it's the Necrons, right?
No, we're fighting against. I think we're fighting against Nurgle. I think we're fighting against Nurgle's Chaos faction.
Okay, so it's his cult then. We're fighting Papa Nurgle.
We're fighting against Chaos cults.
Okay.
Which is cool. I'm fine with that.
And
at least it's not orcs, because I don't like killing orcs. They're fun. They're so much fun. I don't like killing orcs.
They're hilarious. Desaren says, I never ever got to play it, but I made a character for Deathwatch once before. What's the interesting premise for this one is that you play... It's basically like Suicide Squad. You're people who otherwise would have either just gone to jail forever or been executed, but you've been given a chance to die for the Emperor, I guess. Die with some modicum of dignity instead of just rotting in a cell until they decide to kill you. So, like, the Zealot is here because her faith is a bit too eccentric. It's a bit much even for them. And she'll shout things in combat because they all have unique voice lines. They're extremely customizable too, which is crazy. But she has voice lines along the lines of like, if you don't heal me right now or assist me right now, it's heresy. I'll crush you if you don't do what I told you to do.
So one of the things that they're doing differently, so in Riptide, the fantasy version, you picked pre-established characters, some of which went on to be interesting things, other like interesting characters in the lore of Warhammer. Others were just like one and done characters. In Darktide, they're doing it a little differently. There are no pre-established characters. Instead, you have the different classes, which are different, like you have the Imperial Guardsman, the Ogren, you have a Psyker who's somebody that has like psychic powers, and then you have the Zealot, right? Yeah. And you can choose all of their customization options, their visual appearance, and their personality. And what's really cool is you can choose their personality, mixing it with the class that they are. So they've recorded like a bajillion lines of dialogue. There's also, I believe, there are 3 different voices that you can choose.
Yes, for each one.
For each class as well.
As well as, and I believe it's 6 in total because you can also select the sex of your character.
Yeah. So it's all of that. It's insane. The degree, and so keep in mind, in addition, yes, the Ogren is kind of genderless.
Yeah, they're a genderless male pronounced creature.
Yeah,
because they're just sort of a bulk.
They don't have. Yeah, the Ogren is just kind of a big dude.
A big dude, dude, genderless.
Yeah, but basically, like, in addition to having all of this customization for the character, the levels are procedurally generated, or at least they're procedurally generated elements to the levels.
Are they what you are drawing currently? No, Desert. I mean, they have a head.
I mean, not too dissimilar.
It's not too dissimilar, but they have a head in a place the head should be. And clothes. They wear pants. Most of the time, they wear pants. Actually,
I can link a picture of an Ogren.
Yeah, feel free. You can drop it right in the chat. It shouldn't give you any problems. I think that the chat only gets mad if you spam a bunch.
I was gonna give it to you, so you could.
Yeah, feel free if you want to give it to me. Go for it, and then people at home who are watching later can see it. This big angry child who's mad someone stole the ball from him during recess. Something like that.
Aggie.
Stomp. Brr.
Arr.
Meh.
Me pirate. Me Aggie pirate.
It's a pirate.
Here we go.
Alright, let me see.
It's in the chat garbage.
Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo. Let me see. Doodly-doo. Ah, here he is. There's the Ogren. Let me bring him over here.
You know what this giant...
This is an Ogren.
Do you know what this giant gun with bullets the size of soda cans needs? A kitchen knife.
Oh man, you are giving this person way too sophisticated of a vocabulary.
No, they can actually be fairly intelligent.
Oh, okay, so it's just the one in the that we heard in the demo that was like, "Oh, kill lots things. You think God Emperor be proud?"
That's one of the personalities you can pick for the Ogren.
Personality.
Shoot me, stabby.
Personality equal lump. Dezarin says the only horror games that I am waiting for currently to come out are the Dark Pictures anthology, The Devil in Me, and Yomawari Lost in the Dark. Is that the same one that I tried playing before, but for some reason just refused to function? Are they like re-releasing that? Or is this a sequel? Makes me think of the ogres from Warhammer Fantasy, actually. Yeah, they're probably based off of one another.
Yeah, it's all like inspired. It's basically like taking the creatures and factions from the fantasy version and turning it sci-fi.
Yeah.
And when I say sci-fi, I mean like stupid.
That's
sci-fi.
the reason why I think that even though I'm not going to play it, I have no idea what happened with my game either, Dezarin, but you saw it happen in real time of the game being like, no. I will not run. You cannot use these things. You can only go left. I'm like, what? What is happening? I may try again in the future, but I don't know what happened. Unplugging and replugging their controller. Oh, that might fix it. So somebody else had the same problem. Okay. It was weird. It was so weird. But yeah, I won't ever play it because it's too expensive and ridiculous. But I think the lore and premise of Warhammer 40k is hilarious because sorry, I was just gonna say it takes itself the right amount of serious, where it's like
that it really doesn't take it.
Yeah, in that it doesn't, but it's acting like it does. It's like, okay, so what if church themed? Okay, explain. Cherubs, okay. but they're machines. Okay, so the machines that look like little baby angels. No, they're actually babies. Okay, and they bring the power of the God Emperor to the planet. Okay, so like in a ship. Well, yeah, like in a ship, but you know, and then they drop down. Okay, they drop so like deploying. No, they drop a church. I'm sorry, they drop a church? Yes, an entire church through the atmosphere onto the planet.
The orcs are my favorite. Like they're so dumb.
They're plants. I love them.
They believe but in the Warhammer 40K universe, belief causes reality to work to fit that belief.
And it works for all factions.
If enough people believe in something, it becomes true even if it isn't.
Yes, orcs be a fungus, never forget.
A fungus.
Yep.
So what you're telling me?
Fungi.
So what you're telling me here is that the orcs are MAGA.
No.
No.
The orcs are way cooler.
They're way cooler.
But
They're
work the same
way
way.
cooler. Well, I mean, everyone in
no.
Warhammer 40K works the same way. Everyone's
'Cause
faith
for-
causes things to work.
Because for orcs, their belief actually works.
Yeah.
Like, it actually does manifest itself.
Yeah. Because if they say,
Donald
we
Trump is
paint...
still the president.
Yeah, but Donald Trump can't paint a car red to
No.
make it go fast and have it actually
You
go
are
fast.
incorrect. Dark Brannon has risen.
He has freed us with the weed. But anyway. Anyway.
But the like, just as an example, the orcs believe that the color red makes things go faster.
And so
they
it
paint
does.
things that they want to go faster red, and it does make it go faster.
Yeah. And then you have the sisters, and for the human side, you have the Sisters of Battle. Sisters of Battle, their faith is so strong that if they believe hard enough that they cannot be hurt, they won't be. I forget which game it is, but there's like a commercial for it, a trailer for it, where a Sister Battle gets like her arm blasted off with acid, and she's just sitting there murmuring prayers as her arm is getting disintegrated, and her arm just fixes itself. And I was like, oh, does she have healing power? And Mike's like, nah, she just prayed. And I'm like, she just prayed? Yeah, she wanted it bad enough.
Her faith in the God Emperor
Fixed
healed her wound.
Okay. So what you're saying to me is that the Sisters of Battle are Republicans because they have the same healthcare plan.
Yeah. Well, no, because it works.
Because it works.
It actually works in Warhammer 40K.
That's the thing. You can't compare them to real world crazies because this actually works.
Yeah, the world of Warhammer 40K is actually ridiculous.
Yeah, Dazaren said it well. Imagine if your faith actually had tangible results.
Now imagine if your galactic society is dependent on an alternate reality where everyone's dreams and trauma funnel into. So
to be power.
So your civilization depends on this alternate dimension existing, but this alternate dimension gives rise to evil
demons
that cannot be defeated.
Yes, because by its very nature.
Okay, now this just sounds like the pitch meeting Mark Zuckerberg had for Metaverse.
I mean, basically. Dazaren says, so, our world. Kind of.
If you're referring to the United States' propensity for rejecting public transit, then yes.
Yes. To compare it to us, I guess, Dazaren, if one of us were to fall into the world of Warhammer, if we weren't immediately killed, we'd be the most terrifying thing they'd ever seen because chaos doesn't work on us. Because they have people like that in Warhammer, and I forget what they're called, but they're people who just aren't connected to the chaos thing. And their presence is so unsettling as a result that they can just kind of stand there and people will attempt to do everything in their power to not be near them anymore. They make psychers scream, cry, and claw their way out of rooms.
They're called blanks or nulls.
Blanks or nulls, okay. Yeah, they're people who just don't have powers.
Well, it's not just that they don't have powers. It's just it's that the fact that they don't have powers gives them an inherent power, which is it drives anyone else around them crazy.
Yeah. So if you or I were to fall into the world of Warhammer 40K, we'd be a null, and people would not want to be near us at all because our very existence of not being affected by their powers causes a passive effect that makes everybody crazy. And they don't like it.
Yeah, so if I were to meet a Warhammer guy, it's like, my name is Lavadius of Celestius.
Oh.
What is your name?
And I said, I'm Dave, just run away screaming.
Desarin says, I was thinking more that their universe relies on making an alternative universe worse and sending negativity into it, and thus our world. No, this is...
Oh, they're on the receiving end.
Yeah, no. The world that Mike is referring to is he's referring to a secondary plane of existence in their world called Chaos. And it's basically the squishy extraplanar space that they travel through when they warp their ships.
Yeah, it exists exclusively because people dream or have feelings about things.
It's like the Fade, but so much worse.
Yeah,
that's where the Chaos Marines and things come from. Chaos Marines
came from an event in the lore called the Horus Heresy.
Ooh, boy!
Basically, half of the Primarchs and their Space Marines that served the Emperor betrayed the Emperor.
Yeah.
And because they were like enticed by Chaos offered them various different things.
Because Chaos can offer you whatever you want and make it so.
And there was a massive civil war. Some Primarchs are permadead.
Yeah.
But their legions still exist and serve either the Emperor or Chaos.
Yeah. It's okay. I know it vaguely by comparison. I just know how the mechanics work because I love that sort of nonsense. It's the reason I like the Force in Star Wars and have so many theories on how it works. Like anytime somebody goes, the will of the Force, I'm like, yeah, the will of the Force, which is the manifestation of the passive thoughts and personalities of every living thing that's ever been and ever will be and ever currently is. I'm sure it has a consensus. I've only ever gotten to play Warhammer's Fantasy. I see. Yeah, Warhammer 40K
the Fantasy
is
Warhammer is a little
similar.
less over the top than Warhammer 40K.
Yeah. Where in the hell?
But it's still pretty over the top. What's your... do you have like a favorite faction in the Fantasy version?
One sec, I have to change the music and it doesn't like it. Here we go. Come on.
Because look, man, I'm big into Warhammer. I think it's friggin' ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, one thing I wanted to say earlier, Alex.
Yes.
I get what you mean about the money angle because it is ridiculous, but there's always the option of just using something like Roll20 and just getting digital assets to use instead, rather than paying outright for it. And I'm hearing sudden cries out of geeks and nerds of the Warhammer.
Well,
going,
here's the thing.
Blasphemy cannot happen.
Well, here's the thing. If you want to play in like an official capacity, it has to be. They're very strict. It has to be their model, and it must be painted with their paint at least 3 coats. So it could be 3 separate colors or 3 coats of the same color, but there must be 3 different colors on your model in order for it to be considered painted, and it must be fully covered in paint as well. And it's only the paint that they provide that you must purchase.
If you want to have fun, you must have it through official channels.
That's if you want to participate in official games. Like if you
that's what I said.
Regular tabletop, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're participating in official games, it's like tournaments. Like
and you can win big money.
To invest. Yeah, you can win big money as a result. So
yeah. That's why that one little asshole shit kid ended up being all butthurt that somebody beat his stupid. He ended up changing the rules.
Yeah, the I forget what it is, but it's basically like the way spawning works in the Warhammer 40K tabletop. Like there's certain units that have like sight ranges, and the sight ranges prevent people from spawning wherever the person can see.
Yeah.
And he built an army that out of like characters that would have no ability to win a fight. But
he staggered their spawning, right?
Yeah, because they have such wide sight ranges, the enemy just couldn't put an army down.
Yeah, well, if I remember correctly, here's what happened is that you could stagger bringing characters to the field. So he would put down nothing. And he'd let his opponent like start moving around the battlefield, and then he'd put down like maybe 1, maybe 2 things. And his opponent would start moving their army, because almost everybody puts their whole army on the field with a few exceptions of backup, but they put like a force down. And so this guy would wait until they were in like a certain location, and then he would summon in everything and just flatten them. And this one dude that he went up against knew who he was.
You must be referring to something else, because the one I'm talking about.
Because here's
it has to do with him manipulating the game mechanics that prevents his opponents from spawning a substantial force.
This is what that guy did. This is what the guy who beat him did. Because people didn't like that the guy was doing that. Because it wasn't against the rules, but they didn't like it because it's poor sportsmanship. And he was like, oh, well, I'm just, I'm a smarty smart pants. And this other guy went, all right, well, hold on a minute. And because he knew who his opponent was going to be. So he sat down and he flipped through the manual and he read a whole bunch of shit. And then when the guy was like, he's like, all right, are you going to deploy? And the kid goes, no, I'm not going to deploy anything. The guy went, all right, and put some scouts down on the field. And like you said, their special thing is that within a certain range and the entirety of the distance behind them, you can't deploy anything behind their line of sight or within a certain distance in front of them. And what this guy did, he's like, you're not putting anything on the field? And he goes, no. So the guy lined up all his scouts on the other guy's edge of the board. He couldn't put a single thing down, and he won by default. And the other kid was so mad.
I'll tell you what happened. So.
Oh, you looked it up?
Yes, because I am remembering it correctly. So what happened is, this guy would hold. So he would hold off on putting his army down during the setup phase.
Yeah.
And he would redeploy the troops later, and as a result, his enemy wouldn't know where the troops would be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he would, as a result, he would be able to precondition, like decide which of his army he should deploy.
Yeah.
And he would be able to beat the enemy, like, just hands down, because the enemy would deploy their forces, and he would know exactly what to deploy in order to counter it.
Yeah,
whereas
so he'd catch
in the
them.
traditional game, you're supposed to deploy like an army.
Some kind of force that's now encountered each other.
Yeah, so that something can actually happen. The game is.
But there was no rule saying he couldn't, so nobody said anything.
Well, also, if the battle is just about killing your opponent as opposed to an objective. This is why I always think objective-oriented games are better, because it forces you to make decisions. Mm-hmm. Most games, like most battle reports and stuff that I've watched, they have like an objective. They have like victory points or something, like places that they have to capture. And it forces them to make decisions and to move. Yeah. But in this circumstance, I guess there was no victory point or anything. It's just to wipe them out or make them surrender. Wipe out your enemy. Yeah. But basically what this guy did in response to this is he deployed, I think it was scouts or something.
Yeah, something like scouts.
All along the edge of the map.
Yeah. So that the guy couldn't spawn anything in behind them, and
exactly.
he was like,
"Yeah,
that's what I said."
Because the way redeploys work is that if it's within the sight line of something, they can't redeploy. Yeah, but that's not how deploying works. So he could have, if he deployed his army, he could put them anywhere. He would have been able to stay in the game and probably beat the guy. But because he went with this like cheesy, unfun strategy. Wheels, I think his name is.
Yeah, I think his name is Wheels.
Deployed scouts all along the edge of the map. Yeah. And it prevented his opponent from being able to redeploy anything. Yeah. And there's this really great image.
He's so angry!
There's this great image that was taken during, like, at the turn. You can go ahead and post this in, or, like, share this if you want. But basically... the guy was like, "No, that can't be true." So he gets the referee to come
you can see him reading the rules in the background while the other guy's smiling, like, "Hey, man."
Yeah, Wheels is down in the bottom right, just
he's
the
like, "Hey, bro."
Smile.
Yeah, the person he beat is like a teen. There he is, And the judge is right back there reading a book, reading the manual, checking to make sure he can do that, and the answer is yes. And as a result, they now have rules that you must deploy a certain amount of things. And I believe the logic behind the backup and the redeployment is the main reason that since he put them on the edge of the map, they couldn't show up, is they have to come in from somewhere. They come in from off the battlefield. And if there's no off the battlefield for them to go, they can't go there. Because now they've encountered the army or whatever. So that's like sort of the logic behind it.
It's so funny.
It's so funny.
Yeah, they did have to change the rules. But they changed the rules in a way that makes sense, which they're forcing people to deploy.
Yeah.
Like, you have
well,
to
that means
deploy
that the kid
something.
can't do the shitty strategy anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Is it wrong they look at those pecs and see masked rider eyes? Yes. I think I'm going to put a little face on him. But I think I'm going to make it look like paint.
No,
like an insect face.
No face. That's part of the thing that makes the Grafton monster interesting, is it has no face.
No face. Okay. We continue with the no face. I mean, sometimes we can take liberties, like when we put 3 hairs on the monster from yesterday.
But that doesn't fundamentally change the...
That's true.
Like, vibe of the creature.
Put nipples on him. Put nipples for his eyes.
There are some people who draw him that way, where they're like...
Big nipples.
Yeah, give him the...
I bet there are people who draw him that way.
There's some people who draw his head in his chest because, like, the description says it's unclear if he actually does have one somewhere. A couple hairs on on where the neck should be, like this. Are we just giving everything cute little hairs now?
I like how quickly that turned him into an Adventure Time character.
Yeah,
oh, to make him an Adventure Time character is this.
Ugh. I don't like that. The hairs make it look gross.
An Adventure Time character has a face like this.
No, well, like if it was a main character, but if it was one of the side like monster creatures, like that episode where Finn's foot gets turned into like a big thing, and he like goes into that cave with the other monster creatures.
Yeah.
Looks like an Adventure Time character when you put the eyes where the nipples should be.
It just implies a chest face.
You know what that reminds me of? There's this person that I had to train and work one day. Luckily, he was the only person in on that day. But he had only one hand. The other one had not been cut off. It looks like it had not developed properly from birth. And so it ended around the wrist, but there were fingernails sticking out of it.
I've seen that before. Yeah, that's a hand that did not finish developing. What about this? What if each pec had an eye?
No.
No. No ab eyes. Okay.
All right.
No
no
eyes,
eyes.
no faces.
No eyes, no face. Got it.
Give one peck an eye. Give the other peck an eye patch.
Oh God. Ferb says, "Oh, that looks not great." Spider Grafton.
Looks like a big biblically correct angel almost.
Yes! This is the angel that just stomps into a field. Be not afraid! No, I said be not afraid, come back!
He's the bouncer for heaven.
But what if I on foot?
No.
Take
The
step
thing that
arrow.
makes him interesting is
No, I
he doesn't
know.
have a face.
I know, I'm going to keep him from having a face. I was just playing with ideas. The idea of, but what if I on foot? What if shoe on head?
That's such a great thing to think about. St. Peter is the bouncer for heaven.
I mean, he kind of is.
Oh,
He's like, you can't. He's like, are you on the list? Well, you can't get in.
Why does he sound like Danny DeVito?
Because bouncers always sound like that.
See,
Oh,
I still I still agree with the assertion that Danny DeVito would have made an amazing Mario.
You should make the left. You shouldn't make the left hand a little bit smaller.
A little bit smaller.
Yeah, our left.
Our
Not his left.
Not his left.
His right hand should be smaller.
Boo, boo, boo. Like that?
Give him Danny DeVito hair.
Give him a small toupee.
Yeah.
Oh, I tell you what.
think
Here's
that's
what you
good.
do. Here's what you do. You make him hairy.
But he's not supposed to be
old
hairy.
man
He's
hairy.
got skin like a seal.
Yeah. He you know what he needs? A hat.
A hat? Like a small...
Give him a hat.
Like a small...
Like a trucker hat.
Oh, a trucker hat? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ink
maybe-
him with this, by the way. But we will indulge and draw him with a small hat.
No, I think you should give him a hat. Because the chibi version is supposed to be a bowler hat.
Oh, I gave him a little brim. And I was
Oh.
going to put a little propeller on the beanie.
Yeah, so something like that, because the chibi version is supposed to be cute. Give him a little, give him a little hat.
Do we give him a little propeller?
Hell yeah, I'm down for the hat. The hat doesn't violate what makes the monster cool.
Okay. I'm going to make it smaller. I'm going to make it very tiny.
Yeah, even tinier.
Even smaller. Boop.
Because the Grafton monster is huge.
He's 9 feet tall. There.
Yeah, he's big.
We gave him a little beanie, a little propeller hat. There we go.
Like I said earlier, he's 9 feet tall, 4 feet wide, just like Lady Dimitrescu.
I think she's taller than that, actually. No, she is like 9 feet tall.
9'6".
Good lord. Okay. And it looks like I finished that just in time because we've got like 5 minutes before all 2 hours are up. So I think that's a good place to stop it. This little man.
Yeah, that's why the guy who saw the Grafton monster couldn't discern any features, because the head is covered up by the hat.
It was Lady Dimitrescu, and the reason he couldn't see a head above the chest is because he was too focused on the chest.
Oh my god.
Let me see. Why is nothing popping up here? Why can't I see the creature that I drew yesterday? Oh, no, there he is. For some reason, my mind deleted that he wasn't there. Okay, well, whatever. I don't know why I didn't see him. Let's make them the same height. That was the whole purpose. By the way, if you guys did not see me post him, this is how our little guy... It almost looked like he had headlights. Yes. This is our dude from yesterday, our poor boy going to 7-Eleven to get a little soda sip and maybe some potato chips or some ice cream, and then some rude teens were like, ah, and called the police. And he was like, man, I just wanted a sip. And a Slurpee. But I couldn't have it. Because teens were rude in the 70s.
He's like the nerd, and like Grafton Monster's like the jock he hangs out with.
You didn't bring me my Slurpee! I will punish them! Stomp, 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 stomp.
I'm sorry, Grafty, but you forgot my Slurpee.
We forgot your Slurpee, man. Don't worry, I'll fix that motherfucker up right good.
Oh my god.
You don't have to do it.
No, I'm doing it.
So is the Grafton Monster the one that would stomp in and go, excuse me, he said no pickles! He said no pickle. Stomp, stomp, stomp.
The Grafton monster makes for an incredibly loyal husband.
Just like the Dober shoe.
It's easy. It's well.
This is my boyfriend, the
Be honest,
Grafton
he
Monster.
likes him because he's not big-headed.
Yeah,
Like-
he's not big. He's not big-headed.
Like
He
his
has
big
no
moose
head.
head. Yes. Stomp.
He knows how to save face.
The puns have begun. Alright. Let me... I like this one. This one is came out surprisingly good for a man that is just big lump. Is that why he lacks a head? He has no ego, says Desaren. Yes.
He's not a doormat, of course. Like
No.
he's not. He doesn't hurt himself to please others. But he's loyal.
Yeah.
He'll stick. He'll stand up for his friends.
Yeah, he'll stick his neck out for you.
Yeah.
Tilt him a little bit. Give him some more forward momentum. Yes, there it is. There's the forward momentum. Perfect. All right. I just realized the angle of the foot is wrong. It's not supposed to curve this way.
Why?
It's supposed to curve this way. Foots don't do that. I mean, the foot can do this because different size, but the curve of the foot is here. This is curve of foot. Impressive to stick something out he does not have. Yes. That's the mark of a good friend. They'll stick stuff out for you even if they don't have it. Just realized that could be like a weird ass innuendo. Alright. There we go. I think he's done now.
Shoulder a burden.
Huh?
He knows how to shoulder a burden.
Yes. Alright. Hey Jenny, what do you think? Assuming you're still there. What do you think of my Grafton man?
I like the tiny hat.
The tiny hat has been approved. We cannot remove the tiny hat. Alright. Excellent.
Very much. I approve.
Yeah. Alright. In that case, I want to thank everybody who came by today. In both the call and in the forest. I had enough innuendos after playing the forest. Oh, well, I mean, when everybody around you is naked, how can you not? You know?
Yeah, I mean, if you're in the forest, you're surrounded by wood.
Everybody was just adding "ussy" to the end of every word. Oh my god! All right, let's open up our CRYPTOBER list and see what's tomorrow. Let me move it over here so everybody can see. I started doing that, and I think that's better. All right. So, we did our Grafton monster. Tomorrow is the Loch Ness monster. So we get a Nessie. We get to do a Nessie tomorrow. A big old lake swimmy. And the one that yesterday when we were discussing, like, do any of these have an assumed gender? Nessie is often assumed to be a girl. Oh, Lord David, no. I see what you typed. No. And then is the Hodag after that. Sorry, go ahead. What
were you gonna say? The only thing worse than that is if everyone in the group had gone ooh woo.
Number 12, the Fresno Nightcrawler is just pants. Desarin. So yes, it is a hipster. But again, I want to thank everybody for stopping by. I hope you all enjoyed the stream. I hope you enjoyed the nonsense and this giant buff boy with no head to speak of. I hope you enjoyed having my friends hang out and be ridiculous with me. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time. And I hope that you all have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye!
Bye-bye!
Bye.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of my followers over on Patreon and give a special shout out to Jack Fox, Old Monster, Dezarin, and Revolution72. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. I'd also like to give a big thank you to everyone else watching. If you enjoyed the video, let me know with a like and a comment. Be sure to have a look at the other videos on my channel and subscribe so you never miss a new one. Links to my Patreon, Twitch, and all my other socials are in the description below the video. I hope I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!